Please welcome the Executive Vice President, Technology and Chief Digital Officer at United Airlines, Linda Jojo, the co-founder and CEO of Formation, Christian Selchau-Hansen, for a conversation moderated by Skift research editor, Jeremy Cressman.
Hi, everyone. I think by now it's abundantly clear that COVID-19 is having a massive impact on the travel industry and the technology that it's using. But I think what's less clear is how travelers and also the industry is going to adapt behavior in response to this new world moving forward. How is consumer travel behavior, and by extension, loyalty behavior, interaction with technology behavior changing because of COVID-19? And also, how are travel industry leaders deploying customer-centric technology to deliver better experiences as a result? So to help answer some of these questions, I have with me today Christian from Formation and Linda from United to tell us more. Linda, Christian, welcome to Skift Global Forum.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy.
I'd like to start by asking you both, I think it's no surprise COVID-19 is having this huge impact on the travel behaviors and preferences we've come to expect, whether that's for tailoring loyalty or the technology choices we're making. What are you both seeing in the market right now? And why does that matter? Maybe Linda, you can go first on this.
Sure. Well, there's no doubt that we all know that travel has certainly dropped significantly since COVID-19. And I think first and foremost, customers wanted to know that flying was safe. And so we have done a lot of ways, first in partnership with people like the Cleveland Clinic and Clorox, to know how to keep our planes safe and clean. But secondly, how do we get that information out? And technology is a great way to do that. And so, even just simple things like texting clean to fly UA to get information about how we are doing that are some of the ways we've made it easier to do.
Simple interaction points. Christian, what's your perspective on this? What big shifts are you seeing in technology engagement points or how consumers are changing behavior?
Yeah, well, COVID-19 has certainly led to a dramatic change in customer behavior. If I think of my own experiences, my travel has dramatically changed. I work from home. My travel is far more local than ever before. And when I do travel, a lot of those things that Linda mentioned, like the increased focus on safety, moving through a travel situation, looking for personal distancing and minimizing touch, and probably using an absurd amount of hand sanitizer, like all that become the norm. And my preferences have changed too. Now I'm looking for, as Linda mentioned, like a much higher bar in terms of safety. I want to know that I'm safe, my family is going to be safe, and that flexibility is becoming also a key part of my purchase decisions. And where this really goes is that developing that understanding of your customer, where they are in terms of their willingness to engage and travel, well, that helps you become more relevant. It helps you become more valuable and offering, again, a way for customers to connect with you and for you to help them ultimately achieve their goals, whether that's traveling now or preparing themselves to travel in the future.
Christian, I want to dig into this point a little bit more. Obviously the preferences and the understanding we had of what travelers wanted before this has flipped a bit, right? Now they want these new priorities. They want safety, they want flexibility. Do you think that means that companies in the travel industry, whether it's United or anyone else, do they need to take a fresh look at how they gather insights into customer behavior?
Yeah, for sure. This is one, I think that, as Linda mentioned, like United's quick action to partner with experts around plane cleanliness, that was a clear recognition of how significantly not only behaviors, but also the customer preferences changed. And those customer preferences and behaviors are going to continue to evolve as we move further into a recovery. Again, this is where, the bar for relevance has become much more personal. Every individual traveler's needs and their ability and willingness to travel is going to be different. And recognizing that uniqueness is important. The other complication is that the bar for relevance holistically for consumers has also dramatically increased. I'm probably watching a bit more Netflix than I used to, probably like many. And just think of your personal experience, how often you've decided to watch something based on your personal viewing history and recommendations that are coming from it. Again, that personal touch makes a huge difference. And so not only because of companies like Netflix or Amazon, which are moving toward that personal touch, that personal engagement, but also this recovery being personal, it's making the need for insights to become personal too.
Linda, you're very much on the front lines of what Christian is describing. You have this personalization engine to deliver messages to customers, and all of a sudden you've got this totally new situation. What are the primary concerns you're hearing from travelers right now, and what role is technology helping you to adapt to those new concerns that they have?
Yeah, well, starting off with the safety piece and wanting to understand how they're going to get through the airport, we actually implemented a touchless kiosk, and this is something that if you had asked me in February whether we were going to do a touchless kiosk, that wasn't on anybody's roadmap anywhere. Yet by May we had it in 260 airports, and so moving fast and having that able to innovate and reuse some things we had done to put that together was super important. The second thing, though, is not surprisingly, people aren't going to conferences. They're doing them through these means. A lot of corporate travel has ended, so it's probably not surprising to hear that 90% of the people that are searching for flights on United.com right now are searching for leisure destinations. And so we really tried to think about how can we really change the search process when maybe you have a budget, maybe you have dates you want to fly, but you don't really know where you want to go. And so we've got two things that we're working here. First is a destination guide to let you know that you can go. What are the borders open? What are the testing requirements? What are the quarantining requirements? You can now easily find that on our website. And the second thing we actually just announced this morning is search by maps. And search by maps allows you to pick, it's a map. You can put in your dates. You can say you want a beach vacation. You can say you have a budget, and I can tell you that there's some good prices out there right now. So you have a budget, and we will then show you dynamically on that map the choices you have to go that you can fly to. And so another idea that we weren't as focused on pre-COVID that we are now, based on the shifting needs of our customers. And those leisure travelers don't tend to be members in our program, so we don't know as much about them. And so we're trying to use, other ways to gather data to understand who they are and what they're trying to search for.
That's so interesting. There are signals that consumers are telling us, even if they're they don't have a loyalty number assigned to them, right? And that can help bring them into the program and customize things still.
Exactly.
Christian, I actually, Linda, what she just mentioned is a great segue to my next question, which is just, how do you use technology to make some of these solutions possible? How do you create this intuitive understanding of customers based on some of these signals that we just described?
Yeah, well, I think there were a couple of points that Linda raised beyond the destination guide. I think that's fantastic. I can't wait to try it out. But the focus is really around how do we enable the speed and agility, with understanding that customers are changing their behavior rapidly, and that behavior is going to evolve. The need is for technology to support kind of flexible and agile practices so that you can engage with customers with something that's relevant and valuable to them. And that's an area where we've spent a lot of time working very closely with United. The last year, our customers sent over 2 billion unique offers to millions of customers across North America. And when you think about what was the purpose of being able to do that, it was in order to, again, drive for this bar and relevance, how to make something valuable for a customer. And the ways that technology helped do that really came down to three things. The first was the ability to understand your customers and do it more at scale. The second was to apply those insights in a more automated way. And the third was to be able to then optimize. How do you learn and apply those learnings more quickly? And when I think about, again, like those aspects of technology, the application of AI in order to scalably move through kind of that increased resolution of insight, that's very important. It's hard to move from a mass to a segment, perhaps to a micro segment, to truly personal by continuing to scale the practices of today. AI can help you do that. AI can help you dramatically improve that resolution. The second one around automation is then, well, how do you activate those insights? How do you drive value from them? Similarly, you can imagine having a million different variations of an offer. Well, that becomes if you're handcrafting them, like a lot of companies do, that becomes an impossible task. So leveraging automation to build, deploy, monitor, measure offers, millions of them at a single time, that becomes a way to, again, move toward driving that highly relevant customer engagement. And the optimized do it fast.
Yeah.
If I could just add a little bit to that, Jeremy, using a platform like Formation has really enabled us to actually understand how the signals are changing. So we have a gamification platform called MilePlay that we've been working for maybe 3 years with now, Christian. And, that has been tuned to understand how to create targeted offers. What are the kinds of offers that customers are interested in? And the reality is now what stimulates demand is very different than what stimulated demand at the beginning of the year. Because we have, a platform based on AI and machine learning, we just launched another game actually last week that will start to learn and retrain that model in this new reality. There's no way we could have done that with traditional means.
Linda, that brings up really interesting point for me. And I see there's been an audience question about this that sort of relates. How do you balance between this idea of predicting what's going to come in the future, what people will want, versus what their historic needs were? In other words, did customers always want some of these safety aspects or flexibility and that just was an unmet need? Or is this like a prediction that we're now discovering because of the assistance of some of these new tools that we're using?
I think creating relevant offers, relevant personal offers, the way you've got the right offer is that the customer will actually utilize it, leverage it. And so I think our customers are changing. I think, sure, everybody wants a clean experience. Electrostatic sprayers are not something that anybody was talking about 6 months ago, and now we electrostatic spray every flight before every single flight. So, the world has changed in a pretty profound way right now, and we have to be able to figure that out. But of course, machine learning and AI allows us to take data signals and continually refine them. And that, I think, is what's new and what's great for customers, because we're not sending irrelevant offers anymore.
I think we've got time for maybe one more question. Linda, I'd love to dive a little bit more deeply into loyalty as you want to answer it. Obviously, there's a lot of aspects to what loyalty means. Some of it is more just the customer experience. How are you thinking about what loyalty means moving forward at this time when people aren't really traveling, but they want to get back out there as soon as they can?
Well, I like that part about getting out there as soon as you can.
Right.
And, I do think we were starting to see a shift. Loyal customers typically has been defined as those that have traveled us the most in the past. I think we're switching now to a more future-based mode to understand who wants to travel. When they are ready to travel, how do we meet them where they are, whether it's in terms of the locations that we serve or the offers that we provide. So I think it's shifting to the future.
We're just about out of time here, but any closing thoughts about where we think customer technology will go next for your respective businesses?
I think one of the things we are continuously hearing is that desire to be very relevant, to engage customers where they are, and to increase that kind of speed and agility. Those are the things that are really important for maintaining and building a deeper customer relationship. And I think that's where, we've seen United really kind of move forward in a profound way to make a far better, far more personal customer experience across, what is a journey.
Any closing thoughts, Linda?
Yeah, I think just really quickly, I think we've accelerated the move to more digital interactions or touchless interactions. We're going to see more people who are going to want to use the mobile app. They're going to start because they don't want to touch a boarding pass, but they're going to find out that they're going to have a much richer and more personal experience. I think that's going to be the future, is we're going to accelerate into that more digital move.
Linda, Christian, thank you both. I hope to see you both on an airplane again very soon.